Welcome everybody, my name is Josh Rivers and I'll be recapping and giving my rotted, broke down opinions on the 5th episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 9, Reality Stars, the Musical. After Charlie's elimination, we see two different ways people see their competition. Alexis notes that Sasha and Shea did well, but it's her turn to be on top. Nina, on the other hand, not talking specifically about Shea and Sasha, wants to see some of her competition fail. What she needs to do is worry about herself. You don't need to hope that they do bad, you just need to do better than they do. We've been missing some things from the past seasons, and we got 2 in 1. A mini challenge and a photo shoot. It was dumb and subjective as always, but it's part of the show. We love these mini challenges and these photo shoots. We didn't have either all season so far, so I'm happy with it. Alexis wins, and Ru announces the Maxi Challenge to be a lip-sync extravaganza called Kardashian the Musical. Now, since Alexis won the mini challenge, she can assign every single role. Those producers knew right away that some shady business was going to happen when they let one queen govern the other 10. Now, it's very apparent which queens aren't really filling their roles. Cynthia looked iffy, Aja didn't like it, Peppermint was all kinds of confused, and Nina didn't see it, but okay. Also, Eureka's knee from the cheerleading challenge isn't doing so well. I think I said in a past recap I wanted a girl to get injured to live that Bianca Del Rio Reddit prediction fantasy. I'm sorry, Eureka. I know this was filmed months ago, but I threw some dark energy in the air and it time traveled back into your time and hurt your knee. I'm sorry, girl. It's my fault. I will take all the blame. In rehearsal, it's obvious that Nina is a bitter Betty, and she can't just listen to some mediocre animated film's advice and just let it go. Also, she's not the only one. Many of the other girls are having trouble. I don't really understand why. I'm hoping it's not going to be a Season 7 style McBitch car crash like the Season 7 style McBitch car crash that it was. Back in the workroom, Eureka apologizes, and I am, for one, shocked. I really thought that she would have never done that. She just seemed, from past episodes, to really stick to her guns and just to keep the argument going. Fights with Eureka were so draining because she didn't really budge, and even when she was in the wrong. The apology results in the girls talking about their own personal eating disorders, and, that's something that we need to see in our community. We have a really big body image problem, and so many people go through it just to look a certain way, even though, it's not good for their health. So I'm glad we got to see the girls talk about that in this light rather than what we saw last week. So the performance. This might be the worst lip-sync extravaganza we've had, and I blame the actual concept itself. Kardashian the Musical. It's dumb, boring, and I would never even want to watch something like it. So it's not my cup of tea. I didn't really enjoy it. It was still entertaining, but I didn't like it. I'll run down on how each girl did when I talk about the runway. But overall, I didn't enjoy this challenge compared to the past challenges that are similar to this, like the Ru Acapella one from Season 8 or the Airline one from Season 7, challenges like that. The runway is Faux Fur Fantasy, and first up is Peppermint. I actually love everything that she had except that skirt. It looked like exactly the exact same skirt from last week, and I hated that skirt too. I love that pom-pom jacket though. It reminds me of these marshmallow cookies I used to eat as a kid. I can't remember what they're called, but fuck man, I want some of those bitches right now. In the challenge, she did really good. She looked nothing like Britney, but she was up to the task and she really worked what she had of. Not a giant role, but also not like a cameo. She was there for a good amount of time, and she really, of her trio, shined. She really did the most. Trinity Taylor. I hate this look. I really do. I love the concept of a prehistoric glamazon, but I don't like the execution at all. As Paris Hilton, she did well overall, but in her trio with Peppermint and Sasha, she did the least when the spotlight wasn't on her. Unlike Peppermint, who was constantly flipping her hair or doing something like that, or Sasha was doing something funny, but Trinity never really were up to par with Sasha and Peppermint. Next up, Next up is Sasha Velour. And when I first saw her outfit, it was in a low-ass quality stream because, that's how I had to watch it for the first time. I thought the pants were just a different fabric when I first saw. And I was like, there's not a lot of fur, it's just the hat and, the sleeves and the gloves. The sleeves and the boots. It's not a lot of fur. But on closer inspection, the pants and I think also the shirt was fur. And I was like, okay, now I get it. Now I see all the fur. And it's actually a really cool, fun look. I really like it. It's really out there and not a lot of people would think of. I really like it. In the challenges, Lindsay, she was really fun. I think she had the least amount of lines compared to the Britney role and the Paris role, but she did good. I liked it. Alexis Michelle, she looked gorgeous before she opened up her jacket. She should have just walked the runway with it closed the entire time. The jacket will be her outfit, basically, is what I wanted. But she opened it up and revealing nothing of a dress, nothing interesting, nothing glamorous. It brought the look down, but her as Chris was everything. There wasn't a single moment she wasn't on. Constantly taking pictures or reacting to her daughters. She was by far the best performance of the night. Next, Cynthia Lee Fontaine. I actually really like this dress. I know the judges hated it. It wasn't the greatest thing ever, but I enjoy it. Like, I really do. I really like it. It did kind of swallow her, but I didn't really mind that. I liked how it looked on her. But her Kim K was... That wasn't good. No. She didn't know the words, and she had the most lines and the biggest part in the role. Like, she was Kim K. She was that bitch, and she wasn't that bitch. Nina Bonina Brown. I love this outfit. She looks so fucking good. I'm always in love with her style. She does it all correct, no faults. And when she starts crying on the runway with that one single tear, it made it look even better. And I was like, how fucking dare you? How do you do that shit? How do you cry and make it look so fucking good? But her Chloe was the least inspired of her grouping of the Kardashian sisters. She was never on. Like, Cynthia had personality as Kim K. Like, it wasn't Kim K's personality, but it was at least a personality. Nina didn't do anything in that performance, and that was really hard to see because she's good, but she just didn't do a lot. Aja's outfit was cute. It wasn't anything special. I probably won't remember it next week, but she looked good. Also, I don't know why she was so upset to be Courtney, because she was perfect as Courtney. She kind of looked like the bitch too. Also, she was the best of her trio, which isn't saying that much, but she didn't do bad, is basically what it is. Valentina. Homegirl needs to start working on her wigs. It's several kind of wrong. I didn't really care for the dress too much either. Tonight was kind of a bust for Valentina, which is kind of shocking because I thought she would do well in a challenge like this, but she was also forgettable as Kendall. The only part I remember about her performance was that she messed up the patty cake. That's the only part of her performance that I remember. Pheromone. I love this look. She looks so good. It's kind of Poison Ivy inspired and I love it. I also really like her in red hair, even more than her normal blonde. Not quite as much as I like her in a pastel pink though, but it's good. It's still good. But her performance wasn't on tonight. She didn't really seem alive. Maybe she was like a true artiste and channeled Kylie Jenner as if Kylie Jenner was playing herself in a musical about Kylie Jenner, and she did nothing like Kylie Jenner would do. So it could have been just many layers. It could have been like a Pinterest recipe of lasagna, like so many layers. Shea Coulee, she had the best outfit of the night by far. She looked so fucking damn good, and she also did great as Black China. I don't think it was as good as Alexis's, but it was still fucking good. That was a good performance. She really stole she stole the stage when she was on. I don't think, is that an expression? She stole the stage? She stole the spotlight. Fuck. What's wrong with me? Either way, it wasn't the best performance, but she delivered the best overall package. Last is Eureka, and she and her crutches sashayed down that runway, and I lived for that. I was like, yes, that's everything. It was a cute outfit, and I enjoyed that her her makeup match. I love it when queens do that. But it just wasn't like something that I really cared for. And I can't really remember much of her performance. She was only there at the very beginning and the very end of her performance, so it's hard to remember. I think she played Northwest, which was a very odd choice. But makes sense because she has to do the least amount of movement because she can't walk. So, yeah. After that, Ru announces Trinity, Eureka, Sasha, Aja, and Valentina as safe. And like they do in Untucked, start discussing the unsafe girls. First point being, Nina is a Debbie Downer and how she just doesn't believe in herself, which is just an ongoing theme with Nina. She just, throughout the competition, just doesn't have any confidence. And on one hand, that makes me love her because I can really identify with that. She does amazing though, and I wish she saw that like I see her. And every week I see more and more fans like root for her, and that's amazing. I really love Nina. The unsafe girls come back and Farrah is really going through it. It never even occurred to me that Farrah, being from Austin and Cynthia currently based in Austin, that they knew each other. Like there was nothing prior to this that indicated that they knew each other. But it's obvious here, and it makes much more sense why it's so hard for Farrah to like what she's going through right now. I also love Valentina telling Farrah to A, stop crying, B, listen to her lip sync song, and C, drink her cocktail for inspiration. I love that. I love everything she said. I need that on a t-shirt. I say that every week, but that's just because that's what they do, quite honestly. I love that Valentina wastes no time to tell Farrah that wallowing isn't going to help her in a competition. What she needs to do is compete. And I'm glad that Valentina, in not so many words, said that. After that, Alexis confronts, in a way, the girls for not telling her that she needs to change that dress, while she has helped them out. She's a bit peeved because she thinks that she could have won the challenge with a better dress. Thing is, I don't think she would have won with a better dress. I think the entire concept wasn't there from the beginning. Like, she just, unless she had a full suitcase of different kinds of fur, maybe, but there was no concept to her look, and I think that's really what brought her entire runway down. Like, I still think she looks good. She looks gorgeous, but that's not, I wasn't feeling it. But throughout that entire conversation, Nina was just giving me fucking life because she was so like giving you cannot be bothered looks. Like she was trying so hard to not be in the conversation, and I loved it. I love her. Why is she so amazing? Back on the main stage, Shay wins the challenge, which is very much deserved. She looked great and put in the work. That makes 2 wins in a row, and I hope she can keep it up because she is very good. Next week is Snatch Game, and that is often the demise for strong competitors, so I hope that she lasts through it. Peppermint, Alexis, and Nina are safe, which I was a bit surprised by. I really thought they were going to put Nina in the bottom, despite, like, I loved what she did on her runway, but the judges weren't really feeling it. But regardless, Cynthia and Farrah were bottom 2, and I don't think I've ever seen 2 queens more devastated than they were. They were, like, on the verge of tears, and they were both going through like so many emotions. Like Cynthia returning to this competition and being in the bottom is just not like, that's the last thing she wanted, and Farrah just can't really handle being in the bottom at all. Like she takes it really hard. Like we saw when she was close to being in the bottom during that princess challenge. Like it's really tough for her. The lip sync song was Work Up by Meghan Trainor, and this may be the first time in Drag Race history that I've never heard the lip sync song. Why did they pick this song? I mean, that dumbass Mr. Future Husband song, one of the worst songs ever, by the way, would have been better. Or Me Too, that Reject Sharpay song. That was huge around the time Drag Race was filming. But no, they picked this. I googled it because I didn't know what it was. It's not even a single. My only guess to why they used this song is because the producers were told it would be a future single, and it never was. And here we are. But the actual lip sync itself was also nothing special, and I blame the song. It's the song. The song was so bad. Anything else would have been better. Why not Kim K's failed single? That Turn Me Up, Turn Me Up song. That would have been fucking better than this. After the lip sync, I said to myself, I don't know who's going home. Neither stood out, neither did terrible. It's not a just double elimination. I won. Why is that white man walking towards the judges panel? You can't do this to me. I'm not ready. I like order. This isn't order. This is the opposite of order. This is disorder. Yeah, so that twist with Eureka going home is pretty obvious. The writing was on the wall the entire episode. If Eureka had either done really good or really bad, it would have been more of a twist, but she was just kind of mediocre throughout the entire challenge. So it was like, why are they focusing so much on her when there's nothing to really focus on? It is sad to see her go because she didn't deserve to go home. She didn't get eliminated. She had to get like left out. Like she had to get let go. Rue did say that she will be back for season 10, and I wonder if this is going to start a new trend of, rather than bringing back girls from this season, like further in the competition, we would just have a girl from the previous season instead, like a Shangela moment. But it's gonna happen every season. Maybe that could be the case, but you know, RuPaul's Drag Race has no pattern. You know, there's no pattern to it. Some seasons we have 12, some seasons we have 14. There's really no rhyme or reason for the decisions they make. But if they do this like every season from now on, I hope they don't make as big as a deal of it as they did with Cynthia this season, because Cynthia shouldn't have been a surprise. It should have just happened. She should have just been part of the cast, you know? Well, that was it for episode 5. Next week is Snatch Game, like I said, and we all know Snatch Game is when the competition goes full force. I really can't wait for that because I do not know what these queens are going to do. I want to thank you guys for listening to my rambling. If you agree or disagree with anything I said, feel free to leave a comment or tweet me at PixelPixelBoom on Twitter. I love you guys. I'll see you guys next week, and bye, and remember to have fun.